So we're going to go for one more of these, and this should do it there, man. So he has 17% health left. We can get off 4 of these heavy attacks. One more. Alright, we got to bait out one more special one. But that, man, this was a pretty solid fight. Alright, what is going on, my dudes? So we are back here today with another wacky and fun rank up and gameplay video. Now, late last night, I ran this little poll on my channel, and the results were just overwhelmingly clear from the beginning. You guys want to see a 6-star, rank 3 Civil Warrior. That's fine, man. We're going to do it. We're going to have some fun, just like always, and we're going to really mess around with this guy. So we're going to take him up to rank 3. We're going to pop all our ISO in this dude. We're going to take him up to signature level 200, and we're going to really mess around with him. Now, Civil Warrior is a pretty simple champion who does have a decent bit of utility, and I think he's definitely a bit of an underrated champion. However, he's also, like, for me, a prime candidate for, like, that Punisher 2099 type tune-up buff, right? Or even, like, a Falcon Gambit type smaller, on a smaller scale, update buff, because I could see him, having his numbers increase, but I feel like he can also use a tiny bit more to be really useful in a lot of situations. So I put the ISO in and I pressed enter, but it's just not going. But basically, as of right now, the grand majority of Civil Warrior's utility pretty much circles around armor up buffs, alright? He has a % chance to gain armor up buffs while blocking, while attacking. He gains 4 of them on his special 1, and then if you use a special attack while you have a couple of the armor buffs, he converts 2 of them into passive armor ups. And even when, his signature ability has to do with armor up buffs as well, because pretty much what it does is that at the higher sig level, it increases, the block proficiency against special attacks up to, I think, 22% against all champions and 50-ish% against mutant champions, alright? So this isn't loading, so I'm probably going to restart my game, so give me 1 second here. Alright, there we go. So that's pretty much how this guy works. He also has a heal block on heavy attack, and the way his heal block works is that, if you use a special attack while the heal block is active, it replaces the 5-second heal block that you have from the heavy attack with a 10-second heal block, which refreshes. So you can pretty much have, in total, a 15-second heal block that way, but at the same time, you can just spam the heavy attack and have an infinite heal block. So it's a pretty nice heal block for sure. But yeah, man. So my Civil Warrior is actually naturally duped. I have him at, I have him at Sig 20. So we're going to bring him up to Sig 200 and really mess around with him at his best. We have to go to the CCP beta store and grab a couple more of these Sig Stones. And yeah, I feel like, at Civil Warrior, he is already a decent champion. He has a lot of things in his kit that are very useful, and there's one place I'm very excited to test him out today, and we're going to get there in just a second. But first things first, we're going to max this guy out all the way here, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that, man. So our Civil Warrior is now rank 3, Sig 200, so let's go ahead and take a look at this guy in all of his glory, alright? So as you can see, Arc Shield, Sig ability, an upgrade, blah, 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 blah. It lets you start with 2 armor up buffs as well, so some more armor stuff. It increases armor rating by 380 for 2 seconds each one, so that's a total of, 760. Additionally, he receives 23% special damage resistance while blocking, plus 30% against mutants, alright? So as you can see, heal block on heavy, special attacks, yada yada, already said that. When attacked, blocking, all attacks, a chance to get buffs. And then a passive, it grants him 15%, all his armor ups, they grant him 15% poison and bleed damage resistance for each stack of armor actives. So that's very, very nice. It also doesn't work against Cosmic Champions, so hey, right? And like I said, Special 1 gives you 4 of them. Special 2 and Special 3 have some really nice power drain ability. I really like the Special 2. The Special 3 one is okay. If you use the Special 3 when they're below, half power, it'll pretty much drain them down to 0, and then it'll power lock them for 6 seconds. So that'd be potentially useful, but I really like the Special 2, just drains 60% of their power. That's a really nice way to play this guy. But anyway, man, with all that being said, let's stop blabbering, let's jump right into Realm of Legends and test out this guy's damage. So this is pretty much the team that we're going to be rolling with today. This is a very defensive, tanky team, and this was actually recommended to me in the comments of the vote. So what we're going to be doing here is we have the Wakanda Insight, which is each active armor effect also increases crit resistance by 12%, and there's also, look at this, I have all these armor guys, these iron guys at 6 stars. How lucky am I? All teammates recover from armor break 10% faster. That's not too needed for us, but there's also this right here, the Dark Illuminati. All villains gain plus 20% armor. So basically, this guy, Civil Warrior, is going to be extremely tanky, and it's going to be very, very hard to die with him, alright? But we're not going to be trying to take too many hits, man. It's just there's not, too many synergies that increase this guy's attack or make him too amazing offensively, so we're going to just really beef him up defensively, alright? So first things first, man, let's go ahead and check out some of this guy's damage, alright? So, like, right off the bat, I noticed that, like, his crits aren't too bad, man. They really aren't, like, he doesn't have, like, the lowest amount of attack I've ever seen. If we go for the special one there, we're going to gain 4 of these guys and convert 2 of them into a passive, alright? So that's pretty cool. So, like I said, he has a % chance to gain armor up buffs when he hits and blocks, and then when we have 2, you gain 4, alright? So basically, if you use your special 1 when you're right below a special 2, you can easily, right? Just convert them into a passive, alright? And now what I want to do is I'm going to go for a parry right before it because he'll be stunned and also power locked. So we should be able to go right in here after the special 3. This animation is very, very cool. I always really like this animation as well. He pushes them aside and goes for a big beam, a nice Iron Man type beam. And now we should be power locked for about 6 seconds, I believe it is. So what we can do here is we can chain some heavy attacks. That's definitely nice to have. So that's 3 in a row. Here's 4 in a row. And here's 5 in a row. Yeah, so we got off 5 heavy attacks in a row there. That's not too bad. And also, if we go here for the special 2, we don't have to worry about baiting that because right away, look at that. And can we go right into it? We can. Why not? That could be a bit of an interesting playstyle. Who knows? A little risky for stuff like Alliance War. I don't know if I'd want to do that there. But that special 2 power drain is definitely very nice. But as you can see, man, we're running the full Suicide Masteries. We have a rank 3 SIG 200 champion here. And we're 188 hits in. And this, Winter Soldier is just hardly dead, man. But there's a really nice reach on the heavy attack, man. But we're at 200 hits now, man, and that's just not good damage for a rank 3 champion. It's just not, alright? So basically, man, if this guy got an update where he gets, like, increased attack based on his armor, that'd be really nice for him, for sure. But there is a lane in 6.3.6 that I want to take this guy to, and we're gonna go do that right now. So we have arrived at this Vigorous Assault Thunderstruck lane in 6.3.6, and you might be saying to yourself, alright, but Civil Warrior doesn't have any accessibility to shock. What the heck are you doing? Well, in 6.3, there were these, like, really weird boosts, right? And they made the game kind of interesting at the time, and there's this one boost here called Short Circuit. And what it does is it only applies to tech champions. It says most useful in Footsteps from Darkness, and it reads, while the defender is inflicted with the heal block, the attacker's well-timed blocks inflict shock, dealing 200% of their modified attack for 10 seconds, alright? So we're going to place this boost on here. We're going to go in here against this Deadpool, and we're going to see how this works. Because when I was planning out my 6.3 Legends run, I actually considered ranking up my Civil Warrior to rank 2 just for this path. I ended up not doing it. I'm kind of glad I didn't do that, but I have a feeling he's going to be really good for this. And why is that? Because on every single heavy attack, watch this, we now have a heal block. And now, every well-timed block that we do, we're going to be inflicting a shock. So now, what we can do here is, we can just go like this. We can parry heavy the entire time. They're also going to be heal blocked from that regeneration buff that they get. So that's really nice. Alright, now keep in mind here though, it is a bit of a shorter heal block without being able to spam it. But what we can do is we can replace it with a 10-second one, like I said before. And now we can also stack that one on top of it and go in here for another one and replace that with a 10-second one. So this Deadpool's already down to about half health. Replace that. And keep in mind, you know, he's going to be unblockable with the regeneration buff, so that's definitely a little bit annoying for sure. But this is a lot better than a lot of the regular options out there. Like, for example, I did this with Dr. Doom just a couple days ago just to get to Venom the Duck, and it really was not too good at all, man. So right now, Civil Warrior is doing this a lot better than even Dr. Doom was doing. A lot better than, what's the champion that we used that had shock the other day? I don't even remember. I truly do not. Oh, the Hood. The Hood. He's doing much better than the Hood did. Much, much faster here. So with this, you know, with this boost, it's not the most overpowered boost in the entire game. It doesn't help too many champions, but as you can see, Civil Warrior with this boost was almost made for this lane, man. So he's going to do really, really well on this entire lane. And keep in mind, if you don't run the Suicide Masteries on this lane, you probably would have gotten through that fight at about 96, 97% health, right? Because he's a very tanky guy, and we were pretty much only taking damage from the Suicide Mastery debuffs and recoil, all right? So I'm going to think about it for a second, and we're going to go test this guy out in a couple more places as well. Alright, so we're changing up the team a little bit here because Mr. Fantastic and She-Hulk have a synergy together to give all tech and science champions, what do you call it, a power sting passive on the opponent whenever there is a debuff applied to them. So what we're going to do here is pretty much kill two birds with one stone on this path. We're going to test out Civil Warrior in our usual bad champion, weak champion testing round, and then we're also going to continue on here to the that's going to sting, or that's gonna sting path here, all right? So that's gonna be really cool to test out, man. We haven't done that path for a very, very long time, so definitely excited to see that, and definitely excited to see how these power stings help out Civil Warrior's damage potential in general. So right off the bat here, if we do parry heavy, you'll see that's going to give us 2 power stings. The max is 3, so that's definitely very, very nice, all right? And also keep in mind that heal block is going to be nice against X23 as well, so it looks like it didn't do too much damage, to be entirely honest, so that's a little disappointing right there, to be honest. But we're going to go for a special 2 here, and I believe we can go right into the heavy attack. Very nice. And now those heavy attacks should also count as debuffs, so if we go for 3 of these things, that should pretty much do the max. So, okay, so 3 of the power stings is essentially going to be, what do you call it? 10,000 damage, 10,000 passive damage. So that's okay. He's getting through this Wolverine X23 pretty okay. Not the fastest, but also not the slowest that we've seen. I think the slowest that we've seen so far is probably Karnak. I really like this though, the special 2 right into heavies. That's very nice. Yeah, that's actually really nice, because if you do the special 2 at the proper time, you can drain them down to 0 and then do 4 or 5 heavy attacks in a row. So that's actually really nice to have. I really like that. So let's try that again. Let's try ending the fight with that. And what's really good about that on this lane is that we can have all the power stings too. So I think this is probably going to kill her off. Yeah, but if it didn't, we could have went right into it. So not too bad, man. Definitely much better when the health pools aren't like 500,000 or so, and we're not relying on that shock. So we're going to go over to this lane here, that's going to sting lane, and test this guy out, man, and see how he does on a full lane. Because that fight was definitely better than I've seen in the past, alright? So this is, that's going to sting, sung once, twice shy, sadist, yeah, man. Let's test this out. So I believe he has something reduced potency against Cosmic Champions. I want to say that would be, he doesn't have the resistance to bleed and poison against the Cosmic Champions, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue here. I'm going to go for the heavy attack spam, because that's going to put, dang, don't know what happened there, because that's going to put the power stings on the opponent here. Alright, so watch this. Here's what we're going to, I'm not going to be able to drain this guy's power, huh? Nope, I'm not going to be able to drain Venom's power. That's definitely annoying. That's like a little tiny piece of utility that Venom has that's just so obnoxious to play against when you're fighting him on defense in the most rare of situations, and this is that extremely rare situation. So I guess what we have to do here is just get through this guy like it's a normal fight, and we can't go for the special 2 thing, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine, man. But yeah, those power stings are, they're definitely noticeable, man. I'm so used to, like, She-Hulk with those power stings doing, like, 60,000 passive damage. So when I see 10,000 passive damage, I almost scoff at it a tiny bit here. But it's really a lot of damage, to be entirely honest. And it's damage that, like, you didn't have without that synergy, so it's just, any bit of damage there is nice to have for sure. So maybe this should kill him off. There we go. That was even more than 10,000. That was 26,000. So I'm not sure what was going on there in the past when I thought it was maybe the power stings are more potent on this lane. Let's check that out. But here against Archangel, we should be able to go from special 2 right into heavy attacks in the corner. Let's read this here. The defender takes 90% reduced damage, blah, 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 blah. Power sting effects are increased by 300%. All right, so that's why it seemed a little bit better. So here, against mutant champions, we're going to have a really nice resistance to, to special attacks on the block. So we can just completely block this guy's special 1 and be super tanky with it. Yeah, man. So that was definitely nice. What's really nice about this path, too, is that we're going to be healing from willpower with the, that's going to sting, so that's definitely very nice. What I want to do here is I do want to wait out this power sting and go right into the special 2, into the heavy spam in the corner, see how that works. Alright, so we're going to go medium, medium, special 2, right into this. Nice. Nice. 3, we can go for 4. And maybe, there we go! That was nice! That was actually really nice. I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. That was really cool, man. Yeah, so in certain situations, this guy's pretty good. In order to do Warlock, we're going to have to change our masteries around. We don't want to do that right now, so we're going to go somewhere else. I want to test this guy out a little bit more in some other places, and we'll be right back with that. So there is another piece of utility that this guy has when combined with Nick Fury. It's the Extreme Conditions Kit, which is if Nick is alive once per fight when a teammate is inflicted with any Cold Snap, Frostbite, or Incinerate effect, he will drop an Extreme Conditions Kit, granting debuff immunity for 10 seconds. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take that synergy, which I never ever see talked about because it really gets like outshined by the Restoration Kit. But what we're going to do here is we're going to take that synergy and test out both the Cold Snap and the Incinerate and see what we can do there. Alright, so we're here in 6.3.5. Just because it was the quickest Iceman I can, think of off the top of my head to get to, alright? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into this fight. The nodes are pretty simple: aggression, armor, heavy-handed, and unblockable special attacks, and we're going to see just how well that synergy works, alright? So right off the bat, you usually never want to fight Iceman without a Cold Snap immune champion, and look at this, man. We are just absolutely good to go against this Iceman. Don't have to worry about anything at all except for unblockable special attacks, alright? So unfortunately, a big piece of utility that we have against mutant champions, which is pretty much being able to block their special attacks almost with perfect block, kind of goes out the window here, but we still have our special 2 into heavy attack spam, which is really nice, and I'm starting to really like this piece of utility here. So it's a really nice playstyle, man, because it's not really the best form of power control per se, but it is, a nice way to like keep the fight in your control, because draining 60% of their power, it's huge. It's really huge, man. So unfortunately, man, we're not even hitting hard enough to take away 5% of this guy's total health. I do not know where that shock is coming from. Oh, I think that shock is coming from that tech boost that's still on from 6.3.6. That's actually pretty funny. I didn't think that would work outside of that lane. But hey, man, it does. So we're going to go for one more of these, and this should do it there, man. So he has 17% health left. We can get off 4 of these heavy attacks. One more. All right, we got to bait out one more special 1. But that, man, this was a pretty solid fight for sure. So this was a very generic type fight, but the whole point was to test out that synergy, which by the way works with anybody, but Civil Warrior is one of the champions that's on the synergy list, so I figured we would do it with him. Now I just want to go test out some Incinerates, man. Alright, so we're here in 6.2.6. Only because it is the, quickest way to get to a permanent Incinerate debuff that I could think of, again, off the top of my head. If we check out this node here, we have Greater Incinerate. The defender and attacker both receive a permanent Incinerate debuff at the beginning of the fight, dealing 1% of their max health as energy damage every single second. Alright? Now, I'm just realizing right now, this might make his smolders go through the roof and then, give me a lot of Incinerate debuffs, but what we want to see is pretty much if we shrug off this debuff at the beginning of the fight. Alright? So we're going to go in here and let's see if we have a permanent Incinerate debuff or not. And it looks like we do not, man. So that's definitely very cool. I don't think anything that Civil Warrior has is going to raise Human Torch's temperature at all. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're just going to get to our special 2, and we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing, man. And that's pretty fun. There's an Incinerate. Not sure what it's from, to be honest. But medium into special 2. And we should be able to get off 3 heavy attacks here. And we're getting a couple of Incinerates. I'm not entirely sure what they're from, man. Yeah, it's probably from the Smolders. I'm not too sure what's giving this guy Smolders. Maybe the special 2. Maybe the light attack? Nope. Nothing really. Not sure. Really not sure. But the point is, what we're going to do here is the same thing that we've been doing. Here's some more Incinerates. Again, don't know where they're from, man. He's at 0 temperature. He's gaining some Smolders. Don't know what from. Maybe from the special 2. Who cares, man? This guy is dead. So yeah, man. So we got rid of that Incinerate debuff at the beginning of the fight. We got rid of the Cold Snap against Iceman. And Civil Warrior did pretty well. He has nice utility, man. I really... hey, while we're here... There's an Iceman. We could have just done 2 in a row. Who knew, man? Honestly, who knew? What are even the nodes? Empowered Immunity and Limber. Yeah, man. So, the thing with this guy is he has really nice utility for me. I really love that special 2 power drain in the corner. Going right into special 2. I think that's really cool. I wish his resistances to bleed and poison were a little bit stronger. That'd be really nice. I like, we can test out, oh, this is nice. We can test out the block against this special one on this Iceman. Not too bad. Also not the best, man. For being Sig 200, only having like that resistance when champions like Sunspot exist in the game. At this point with the perfect block, I don't know, man. It could just be a lot better. This guy definitely needs a tune-up in like the worst way because he does have nice utility. I mean, look at this. Just the special 2 into 4 guaranteed heavy attacks in the corner, all while heal blocking. It's nice. It's really nice stuff, I spade out the special 1. Just block it because we're at Sig 200. We took a little bit of chip damage there, which is disappointing, man. I feel like at Sig 200, blocking specials against mutant champions should pretty much be perfect blocks. Granted, this champion was released way before like Sunspot and Guardian and champions like that, but while those champions exist, man, if you want Civil Warrior to have a place in the meta, you have to, tune up his abilities that are good in theory. But yeah, man, overall, I would say that Civil Warrior definitely impressed me a bit today. His damage is not as bad as it looked against Winter Soldier when you go up against, like regular health pools. I love the special 2 power drain and the spacing in the corner, allowing you to go into 4 guaranteed heavy attacks. Against, like I'd say, most champions, there are going to be some champions like Venom the Duck and Guillotine 2099 off the top of my head that are probably going to recover too fast for that. I'm sure there are more, but just off the top of my head, those 2 that have punished me in the past. But yeah, man, I think this guy is really cool. I think he is very much so overdue for a buff. He's a very cool champion with an amazing character design and a really nice base kit. But yeah, he just needs a little bit of love. But anyway, my dudes, that's going to be it for this fun rank up and gameplay video. If you enjoyed it, do your boy a favor and drop a big ol' like. Comment what you think about Civil Warrior up at rank 3 in the comment section below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of those fun rank up and gameplay videos coming to you very soon. I'll be seeing you around.